Attention hunters. And here is the next part of this journey. Now that I've beaten T8 Traveler, it's time to see how far I can push this build. But first, let's begin with a small motivational intro.
It's the beginning. If one bomb doesn't do the job, then I'll use two. Fortunately, you only witnessed the beginning. Unfortunately, you only witnessed the beginning.
As you can see, I changed my farming strategy. This new one is very fun and gives massive loot explosions. The best part about this strategy is that it requires no compasses to function. The idea is to get as much increased drop quantity as possible using God of War and Goddess of Hunting. This will boost the quantity of items dropped by the clockwork ballet mechanic and result in big loot explosions. Bosses are also a good source of loot as they are buffed by the Goddess of Hunting and the Netherrealm talent constellation. For the best results, you should activate Goddess of Hunting, then kill the boss, and finally activate the Clockwork Ballet. This way, the 30% additional drop quantity buff from Goddess of Hunting will boost the Clockwork Ballet loot explosion.
Unfortunately, you only witnessed the beginning.
You might have noticed that I blink around the map very fast. I now use Detonation Dare, which increases the number of bombs thrown for every 3 meters move. This is combined with the Blink Attack Activation Medium to always have max Detonation Dare buff, resulting in 6 additional bombs thrown. Furthermore, I also use Blade Dancer Steps in conjunction with this Divinity Slate affix. This allows infinite uses of Blink with only a 0.3 second cooldown. It's now time to upgrade my gear, but first let's see how many FEs I'm working with. Not bad. First, let's buy a Precise Elemental Resistance. This adds max resistance, which significantly increases my survivability. That's not too bad, but I'll need to get more resistances on my gear. Next, I need to get a new blind vision. Let's see what I can find. Maybe the next one. Dexterity is actually really good. Let's see if I can hit T0. Nice. No way, that's extremely lucky. Now I want to get a new cicada shell, and let's hope luck will stay on my side. Physical damage conversion is the affix I want the most on this item. Physical damage is one of the biggest weaknesses of this build as I don't have any armor. Nice. I'll stop here. Now let's find a corroded one to inherit those affixes. And here is what I ended up with. Not too bad of a chest. Light Hunter Belt is up next. Let's see what I can get. The defense affix is quite good as it acts as a multiplier to Energy Shield. Although I am not quite sure how it interacts with Energy Shield obtained from life to Energy Shield conversion. This is a decent belt. With this, my elemental resistances should be capped. Erosion resistance is a bit low, but that is not a big problem for now. Now, as I still have some space left for Divinity Slate, I'll get a Double Fizz Convert Divinity Slate. This should help me avoid one-shots by Blessed Elites and bosses. Next up are the gloves. On those, I need T0 Fervor and Flat Attack Crit Rating. Unlucky. Let's get some new gloves. It is a 1 in 6 chance to get triple T0 base, so some failures are to be expected. Second try. Nice. And this is what I ended up with. Quite a decent pair of gloves. It's now time to upgrade my claws. I have bought a few of them for around 10 to 20 FEs. They are needed as I want very specific affixes on them. Attack crit rating, elemental penetration, and elemental damage. Nice. No way. Sometimes lucky, all the time. Now let's corrode the other claws and hope to hit the right affix. That's one. And the second one, I swear I am too lucky. And here are the claws I ended up with. Not too shabby. Now for the boots, I'll just take max life and aura effect. That's a nice pair of boots. Next up is a ring. Here I want some resistances, max life, and some crit rating. Second try. Nice. I feel like I am way too lucky on those crafts. Overall, I am very happy with this crafting session. Let's pay a visit to the dummy.
Please select the caliber.
As you can see, the damage is not bad at all, especially when sitting in archery bond. The only downside is that you can't control where archery bond appears, but this is mitigated by the increased area given by God of War. And here is what it looks like in 8.0. As you can see, the clear speed is pretty good.
Defiant. Courageous.
The blink attack activation support takes some getting used to. Just remember that as long as you're moving or holding left click, you won't blink to enemies.
Spectacular.
Now for the next upgrades, I want to go for an order stacking setup. This might not be the most cost-efficient option out there, but I have never done it before, so I want to try it out. For this, I need 1 pedigree of gods with peaceful realm, 4 gods' footsteps like this, at least 4 last gods' tears like this, and finally a prairie.
Courageous.
All in all, the whole setup should cost about 15,000 FEs, so I better get to farming.
Defiant.
Prepared the perfect demolition display for you. Display for you. Unfortunately, you witnessed the beginning.
Spectacular.
Demolition display for you. Unfortunately, you only witnessed the beginning.
That's the biggest explosion I've seen yet. Maybe I should change my loot filter. And after a lot of farming, I finally gathered all the necessary pieces to complete the order stacking setup. I was lucky to find this pedigree of gods for sale. I then bought all 4 gods' footsteps. Prices fluctuate a lot on those. And finally, I bought the prairie. I went with 20 immolating flames as it was about 1,000 FEs cheaper. And here is what the setup looks like. It's beautiful. Let's see what the dummy has to say about it.
For invincibility number 2.
Looks like it more than tripled my damage. Not bad. And now I can comfortably farm 8 too.
Courageous. Radiant.
Now I still have a few upgrades to buy before finishing this video. The first ones are good corrosions for the blind vision and the ocean of rock. I crafted another ring, but not on the same base as I couldn't find a good one. After that, I focused on buying level 21 versions of my skills, as well as precise versions when possible. I also realized that I made a mistake with elemental amplification. This aura only applies to spells and Frostspike is an attack. So I switched it with Precise Fearless. And finally, here is what the damage looks like after all those upgrades. The damage is really good. Notice how the average DPS is very similar to the highest DPS in 5 seconds? That means the build has very constant damage. This is very nice for mapping. As always, this damage is achieved with full drop pack spirits. With this damage, the build should be able to handle 8-4.
Emerging.
Honor and shame.
Fireworks?
Defiant.
As you can see, the build lacks survivability. Although, to be fair, this attack hits very hard regardless of difficulty.
Courageous. Radiant. Ace.
And this is the end of this video. This character has come a long way since last episode, but I still have some upgrades in mind to make him stronger. This video has been crafting heavy, so let me know if I should show a bit less, or if this is fine for you. As always, take care, and see you in the next video.